Good morning to all my YouTube family out there. CJ Curry back talking some more NBA player props on PrizePicks. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. We're going to be talking about my favorite NBA plays that I found early on this small NBA slate today. So get subscribed to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Click the like button as well. All those likes, all those subs, and all those shares that you do of these videos really help spread the message, grow the channel, and I appreciate all the love and support that you guys have given thus far. All right, so what are we looking at today? Well, we got like a 5-game NBA slate. 4 out of the 5 games have blowout potential, 10-plus point spreads. So that's been kind of the name of the game as we head into All-Star break. Is a lot of teams are injured, a lot of teams are sick, a lot of teams are already tanking. You're starting to see some of these teams that are down at the bottom stay at the bottom by benching some of their key players and playing more of their reserve guys. So that's just the nature of the beast when it comes to the NBA. But taking a look at the PrizePicks board, if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, maybe this is your first time hearing about PrizePicks. PrizePicks allows you to select your favorite players from your favorite sports, and then you decide whether you're going to take the more or the less on their given player projection. In this case, PrizePicks is running a free square this week for the Philadelphia Eagles Washington Commanders matchup. Obviously, you guys can see I'm riding with the Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan, but I'll definitely be playing this Jaden Daniels free square. All he needs is 1 passing yard. If he gets that, then basically this is a winning pick. Now you could put 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 other picks with this Jaden Daniels free square and win anywhere from 3x up to 25x or more when it comes to what you risk. So really great promotion. If you're not on PrizePicks yet, take advantage of this. Also, PrizePicks is still running their play $5 and get back $50 promotion. All you have to do, deposit for the first time on PrizePicks, use promo code CJ Curry. I've left a link for you down in the description below. And then whether you win or lose with that $5, they're going to give you $50 back. So definitely make sure that you're taking advantage of all of those promotional offers that PrizePicks and some of these other apps are running. It really helps keep you in the game when it comes to playing these different sites. So what are we looking at for today's NBA slate? Well, the first one that I've got on deck for you is going to be a Denver Nugget. We're talking about Russell Westbrook. So let's go take a look at the Westbrook prop that kind of caught my eye this morning. They're taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. This game is expected to blow out, and we'll break this one down very thoroughly for everybody to let you know what I saw in terms of data and information that kind of led me to wanting to lean under, take the less on Russell Westbrook. So we're looking at the points, rebounds, and assists. Combination is at 25.5 PRA, and as you can see, I am leaning toward the under, and here's why. When we open up outlier.bet, and we start looking at the games in which Westbrook has played alongside of some of his other teammates, key players like Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Christian Brown, Michael Porter Jr., and of course, Nikola Jokic, you're kind of left with these games right here. 16 games in which Westbrook has played alongside of those fellas. And in those games, he has actually gone under 25.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 75% of them, averaging just 20.2 points, rebounds, and assists. So you got a line of 25.5. You got an average here of just about 20 points, rebounds, and assists. And so Westbrook has went under a whole lot more than he has gone over when these other key contributors are on the floor for the Denver Nuggets. Now, something else that kind of caught my eye here is when you take a look at the home games with those other 5 players in hand, you can kind of see that he is 4 for 4, meaning he has stayed under 25.5 PRA in home games when he plays alongside of those guys that we mentioned before. So 100% hit rate, averaging just 11.25 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, I know some of these games were from ancient history back in October, back in early December, and things have changed a little bit. Westbrook's role has absolutely grown since those games, but worth kind of pointing out here that he doesn't typically perform as well when he plays at home. Another thing that kind of caught my eye with this outlier app here that you're able to do is you're able to go in here and you're able to look at margin of victory, games in which the Denver Nuggets have won by 13.5 or more points, because that's what they're expected to win by today, according to Vegas. When you turn that on, you're going to see some major green here. 3 for 3 in blowout style games in which Denver has dominated the other team. 15.6 points, rebounds, and assists per game average in those games. 11, 18, and 18. Now, those 18 and 18 games, those were actually fairly recent. January 14th, January 17th. And so Westbrook not contributing quite as much, especially in games that turn into blowouts where Denver dominates. So there's a little bit of information for you on the Russell Westbrook under PRA prop. Now let's take a look at some projection models from some of my favorite sites. And this first one we're going to go to is over here on RotoWire. RotoWire is fantastic. By the way, if you want to take Outlier for a spin, 7-day free trial, link down in the description below. If you want to try RotoWire out for a 2-day all access free pass, there's a link for that down in the description below too. So make sure you're taking advantage of these offers. But you punch in Westbrook's name, and this is what you're met with when you look at the RotoWire PrizePicks player prop pick'em tool here. You got some options for the over, a lot of options for the under, and most of the ones that are for the under are projecting really poorly, and that's why they're on the lean less option. But the top lean less option for Russell Westbrook right now is his points, rebounds, and assists. Now, what RotoWire does is they take a look at other DFS pick'em sites like Underdog, Sleeper, and they compare to PrizePicks. They also take a look at different sports books too to give you kind of sort of the betting odds on these different sports books, so you get a little bit of that plus EV action. Then they also give you a proprietary projection for what they think Russell Westbrook is going to land on today in terms of his points, rebounds, and assists. And then they also take a look and factor in his hit rates. So that's what you kind of get here. And when you factor all that information in, those 4 key data points, they're telling you to lean less on Russell Westbrook. So let's pop open this little card here. Taking a look at Russell Westbrook. He is projected for 23.72 points, rebounds, and assists, which is a 1.78 PRA difference versus his line of 25.5 over on PrizePicks. So that's the projection for Westbrook. And yes, RotoWire does provide some hit rate data, historical hit rate, game logs, and stuff like that as well. So you can kind of take a look at those if you decide to use RotoWire. But the projection is what we're really focused on. 23.72 is less than 25.5. And so that looks like a good projection. Now, we're also going to go over to Fantasy Labs. Fantasy Labs, another great projection tool. When you type in Westbrook's name over there, you get a 23.1 PRA projection for Westbrook, putting him well under 25.5 once again. We're also going to look at shot quality. Shot quality and their Roto Grinder partnership. Shot quality has some very advanced analytics, and at this projection, he's at 22.56, putting him under by 3 PRA over on shot quality. Now I'm going to fire up one more projection model for you. This one's going to be brought to you by LineStar. Take a look at LineStar's data on Russell Westbrook. They've got him all the way down at just 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So that's 4 different projection models. They've all got Russell Westbrook going under 25.5. So I'm not going to go against those. I'm going to stay with them and choose Westbrook for less. So that's going to be the first pick. The next one's going to be a little bit more controversial because this guy has been somewhat underperforming here as of late. But we're talking about Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma for more than 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We've got a little bit of narrative going on in this one. It's Kyle Kuzma versus the team that drafted him. The former Los Angeles Laker returns to LA tonight to take on the LA Lakers. So Kyle Kuzma versus the Lakers, looking pretty good here head to head, historically speaking. So we're going to take a look at this one. This one kind of caught my eye here. Kuzma over 21.5 points plus rebounds. So let's take a look here and see at the projections and where he's projecting today. We're going to go back over to RotoWire for this one. And you can see that got some lean more options, some lean less options. The lean more on the points plus rebounds is projecting really well. Look at that huge bar when it comes to the RotoWire projection for Kyle Kuzma. So let's pop this open and take a closer look. You can see that most sites have him at 21.5, but there are some sites that have him at 22.5, meaning some sites think that the 21.5 is just far too low, and they've bumped him up to 22.5. So take a look at his hit rates this season, only a 42% hit rate. He's kind of been inconsistent, to say the least, over his last like 10 to 20 games or so, but he's kind of a petty guy. I could see him going out of his way to try to have a good game against the Los Angeles Lakers, especially since the game is back in LA. But he is projected for nearly 24 points plus rebounds according to the RotoWire projections. And you can see that the previous games against the Lakers, he has performed well. Now, these were from last season, so make of that what you will. But 30 and 29 points plus rebounds in the games that he played against the Los Angeles Lakers. So I can see him trying to come out tonight and try to make a statement. But the projections are certainly there to back this up outside of the revenge factor or revenge narrative that we have here versus LA. Taking a look at some other projections here for Kyle Kuzma. We're going to go back over to Fantasy Labs and peep those. Kuzma projected for 24.4 points plus rebounds, which is way more than 21.5, and that's really what you want to look for. You want to look at projection models versus PrizePicks lines and find the player props that have the biggest differential, the biggest differences, and that are also being supported by real Dollaruskis out on the DFS pick'em sites, out on the sportsbook. So if the money's coming in on the over, like it is on Kyle Kuzma at 21.5 PR, follow the money and then follow the projections on top of that. Look at multiple data points, and all signs are pointing to Kuzma over 21.5 PR. Of course, he still has to step out on the floor. He still has to go out there and get the job done. Taking a look at another projection for you guys, we're going to go back over to shot quality. They've got him at 23.74 points plus rebounds. Again, putting him well over that line of 21.5 where he sits early on this morning over on PrizePicks. And then, of course, we're going to look at Line Star once again. Line Star providing some pretty nice projections. So we'll punch in Kuzma's name, and you get a very green projection here for Kyle Kuzma. Most of his projections are going to be green today. He's sitting right around 21.2 points plus rebounds, which puts him in the running, in the conversation for an over. I know it's a little bit less than 21.5, but still looking pretty decent there. So 3 out of 4 models, technically speaking, have Kuzma going well over 21.5. So you kind of aggregate those numbers or average them together, and then you're going to have a lean more option when it comes to Kuzma at 21.5 PR. The last play that I want to talk about is another revenge narrative play that looks pretty darn good. It's Mikal Bridges of the New York Knicks taking on his former team, the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I'm going first half only here on Mikal Bridges because if you take a look at this game, it's expected to blow out. They got the New York Knicks favored by 11 points against Brooklyn today. They're going to be at Brooklyn, so it's kind of a battle for New York, if you want to call it a battle. It's not really much of a battle. Obviously, New York's the much better team. Brooklyn on the rebuild, and they're trying to trade away some of the remaining assets that they have and rebuild that franchise from the ground up, basically. But nonetheless, I think Mikal Bridges for more than his first half points, rebounds, and assist line is going to be the way that I want to go. Like I said, I am worried about this game blowing out. So by playing first half only props, you can avoid games and situations where you might potentially run into a blowout. And it just so happens that Mikal Bridges was a Brooklyn Net for a period of time, put up some fantastic numbers as a member of the Nets. And since he's visited his Brooklyn Nets teammates, former teammates, some of them, he has actually done really well in his head-to-head since joining the Knicks and going head-to-head against the Brooklyn Nets. So let's take a closer look at Mikal Bridges here. We're going to go take a look over on Outlier. Outlier, fantastic here. They've shown us basically all of the games in which he has played, all his first half game logs. He has gone over this number of 10.5 first half points, rebounds, and assists in 66% of the games in which he has played. That's a 12.3 first half only points, rebounds, and assists per game average. Now, you look at the away games in particular, that goes 64% in terms of the hit rate, averaging still a healthy 12 points, rebounds, and assists per game in the first half, and he's hitting 6 straight. Now, 6 straight away games he has hit this, and he's also hit in 8 out of his last 9 away games. So the first half PRA has been really good to Mikal Bridges. You can even look at the last 20 games. He's really picked it up over his last 20 games, a 75% hit rate. He's gone over this first half number of 10.5 PRA in 75% of the games, averaging 13.3 first half points, rebounds, and assists. Now, we also want to look at the head-to-head matchups. Of course, we mentioned that Mikal Bridges has performed good against the Brooklyn Nets since joining the New York Knicks, and I want to show that to you. So let's do it using Outlier. You can see that he is 2 for 2 now head-to-head against Brooklyn on his first half points, rebounds, and assists. He played Brooklyn for the first time back on November the 15th, he ended up with 19 first half PRA, scoring 14 points, grabbing 3 boards, and dishing out 2 dimes. So fantastic performance there. And then the follow-up game on 11/17, just 2 days later, he puts up 14 points, grabs 1 rebound, has no assists. So he's absolutely been getting buckets against his former team and teammates. So Mikal Bridges looking like a really solid option here to go over once again. In terms of the matchup, you can look at some of the key performance numbers. Brooklyn, when it comes to guarding small forwards, not very good. They give up the 28th most points per game to the small forward position, which is where I would put Mikal Bridges in terms of his designated position. You know, a lot of those guys are interchangeable. Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, kind of all wing players, shooting guards / small forwards. 10th in rebounds allowed, so don't expect him to get too many boards. But 29th in assists allowed, so he could pick up a couple of dimes in this matchup. So things looking really good here for Mikal Bridges. I'll definitely be playing this one in the revenge narrative as he takes on his former team in Brooklyn. So that's your final play of the video. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down in the comment section below. Are you liking any of these props? Hating any of these props? Tell me why. And if you got something that I didn't get a chance to talk about that you really got your eye on, that you really like it, leave it down in the comment section below. Somebody might see that prop, follow it, and win some money because of your sound advice. To everybody who's in Dub Club, I will see you inside of our Discord for more picks, plays, and parlays. I'll catch you on the inside. Peace.